had to make sure nobody was watching me. See, it's kind of weird when they do. We're here. We are here at Kinetic. About 7:55, 8 a.m. And we're here early for our other kind of work. Well, the river's over there. Life on the river. We're going scooting. I think my camera is kind of broken. The screen is loose, and if I wiggle it enough, it turns the record button off. I really got to be careful with this. Get it fixed. The season's coming. Countdown to the season is 13 days. 13 days. All right, let's do this. Check back in a bit. Another fantastic session of motor pacing behind the scoot. Hour and some change. Some full efforts. Right now, our effort for getting ready is gonna be quick sprints right now. So we're like doing max power, just explosiveness. Sort of phase 1. So what exactly am I talking about? We're doing speed work, all this stuff. Well, if you haven't watched my video on motor pacing, click up in this corner and watch exactly what I'm talking about having to do with motor pacing and all of that and such. Hold on, is my lens dirty? So what we're doing now is I'm riding behind the scooter, boom, like this, perfectly behind it, XYZ, speed, pace, driver goes beep, and I move out from behind and accelerate as hard as I can. Max power, just go boom, all the way up until you hear the next beep. Now the times are different, the frequencies are ever changing, so there's no predictability to it, basically simulating attacks. Then what I do, you hear the second beep, you drop back. This is the hardest part. And as the scooter does not slow down, you have to re-accelerate to get behind it, and wow! And that's what we were doing today at least. We're mixing it up, getting it ready. It's some early season speed work, some prep work, getting all the motors running. Now we're here, working on this bike. Numero dos. All right, so one of my bikes from last year. We've got new bikes in the works, as you saw yesterday. Numero uno is done. We're still working on number 2. But this year, I'm going to be keeping these bikes in full working, racing, top-notch shape to have 1, a C bike, something that I don't normally have, number 3 bike. And 2, there's a couple of times where we're going to have this east to west transfer that's for 1 race. First case in point is going to be Reno. So rather than flying from the East Coast all the way out here with bikes, all the way back, we're gonna leave those bikes on the East Coast and race these in Reno. So we're gonna freshen them up, and I thought this would be a prime time to show you guys what you should be doing if you're dusting off the cobwebs on your bike, or if you're taking it to the shop, tell the guys at the shop what to do and what I do to sort of restore a cross bike that's been sitting around, or to freshen up a cross bike that you've been riding the snot out of all summer. Maybe it's a gravel rig for you, whatever it may be, and show you some things. So, step number 1, strip it down. Pull the cranks, pull the chain, pull the cassette, pull everything, cables and housing, bar tape, strip it off. You're gonna want to start fresh and give you a good baseline. So break it all the way down, freshen it up, clean it up. So first step for me is something that I like to make sure gets done nicely, bleeding the brakes. All right, fresh dot fluid, mineral oil, whatever you may have. You should be bleeding your brakes once a year. If you're a heavy you're a heavy shredder, twice a year. We'll bleed them a couple times throughout the season. Lots of heavy braking happens, high temperatures, low heating and cooling cycles. So it's good to freshen up the fluid. If you're riding on a road bike, your mountain bike, long descents, disc brakes, freshen them up. That temperature of the temperature of the oil gets really hot and it starts to degrade. So definitely bleed your brakes. Here's a fun little tip for you. With dot fluid, did you know that it is water soluble? Everybody's always so concerned about dot fluid. Oh, it's dangerous, it corrodes, this and that. You're right if you leave it on there, absolutely. You should always be wearing gloves as well. But when you pull this out, put your little towel on there just like I did. Keep it clean, keep it tidy. Grab your water, spray it down. Simple as that. So dot fluid absorbs water and at the same time also becomes inert in water. So with enough of it, It's as if it was never even there. My light on the garage literally just went out. Next up on the docket is a shifter rebuild. Now this is something that I think, not rebuild, shifter cleaning. This is something that I think more folks need to address. We see them coming into the shop all the time, just packed full of sand, packed full of grease. Let's show you, this is what I'm talking about. Can you see all that, like just all of that grease and grit in there? So let's clean it out. My favorite tool for the job, Q-tips. Take your Q-tip and start to completely just, try to get as much grease and grit and gunk out of there. And be prepared to go through a lot of Q-tips. It takes a while, but it's worth it in the end. I think you only have one shifter now, so you just use these more. The equivalent of 2 on 1. Yeah. And then once you're done cleaning, you install SRAM Johnny Snot shifter grease. Now all these cautions, all that stuff on there, that means it works really well. Yeah, this stuff, not good for your skin, but good for your shifter. And you're gonna put it, need another hand. You're gonna put it right on the double tap mechanism here. So this little guy, see it? Right on there. The light is back. My checklist for servicing. Obviously the basics, new cables and housing, a new chain, check your bottom bracket, check your hub bearings, check all those things. But the primary things, bleed your brakes, service your shifters, do the things that most people don't actually want to do to prolong the life of the product, make your shift better. It's the little things, it doesn't take a whole lot. And if you don't do your own service work, just take it to the bike shop, tell them, hey, watch this video, the kid Kaiser's gonna show you how to do it. So hopefully that helps. If you have more questions about how to do things, let me know below, because I'm ready for content. I'm ready for content. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Over and out. Peace.